So I think with the advent of the next, I guess, patch day for Dokkan coming really, really soon, it should be tonight as a recording, if not, tomorrow night, something like that. I mean, it doesn't really matter. It's not a super exciting patch week, as some of you, I assume most of you know. But the thing I wanted to do, and it's something we do from time to time on this channel, is go over this week in Dokkan, where I take a look at things we've gotten, things we may get, and some predictions for the channel now that we're somewhat further along. And my question to you is, if you could pick any big time EZA to come out, GDC, next week, this week, just something exciting, what would it be? If I get enough of them, I'll react to them. I kind of want to talk about EZAs in the future. We have so many hype EZAs coming. You can tell me the celebration it would fit in. So for example, if you wanted, I don't know, Vegeta and Trunks, obviously that would make for a great future celebration. But yeah, I'm just sort of interested in where people are. This is a year of really hype EZAs in terms of choices. We're kind of running out of less hype choices as the time goes on, and we're getting into some really high tier animations. 2022 feels like one of the most consistently great animation years for Dokkan. So yeah, go ahead and give me something from 2022. Who do you want? What would the celebration actually be? And if you want, and we'll get into those. But first and foremost, as far as Dokkan goes, not theoretical Dokkan, but actual Dokkan, we have Captain Ginyu's EZA, who seems to be as middling as we thought. It's not that he doesn't have any place, it's just that those places are trying to fit like a round peg into a square hole or what have you, right? It's Ginyu who is being released. This character's release actually reminds me a lot of 2023 Dokkan, if you can believe it, where a lot of 2023 EZAs felt almost random, and it was just because they'll be on the category in theory. Ginyu's on mission execution. Ginyu is a mission execution juggernaut if you really consider like the leader skill as being sort of new and needing new options. But obviously this isn't his place. I said one of the reasons I couldn't see it being Ginyu, or one of the reasons rather that I hoped it wasn't Ginyu, is because I just think he needs too much of his per Ginyu force, and they didn't really remedy this. It's something I've gone around saying, but the easy fix to this, especially for villains, is just make it extreme units. Just always make it extreme units. Every single villain should be extreme units. They shouldn't have category tags, because when you compare this fucking character, compare this dumb, bozo of a character to like, oh wow, that's fucking a billion categories, right? It's so obnoxious that Dokkan continues to do this with villains. And that's the worst part, because sometimes it leads to some of the most fun villain teams, right? But if you're not going to do it consistently, if you're not going to make villains strong to compensate for the fact that they fit into smaller binaries, then I mean, just fucking make them boring. You know what I mean? Make them boring, make them strong, make them flat, and make them good. Don't like do all this finagling, because every one of these villains is not the Broly movie a celebration, as is obvious. But I guess we'll go from Ginyu on to a new topic here. So next on the list is our actual upcoming content week, coming with the the maintenance. We're not getting anything regarding big scale leaks or mechanics leaks or anything like that. It seems to be a really by the numbers web shop maintenance, which is whatever. But what we are getting is the Tri-Beam TN getting an EZA. He's a free-to-play unit, and I actually brought him up just so we could do like a, I don't know, I guess like a review of his animations, because if you haven't farmed this guy, his animations are really good. Like, this is a free-to-play unit. This is a free-to-play unit that was out when I started playing Dokkan, you know what I mean? This isn't something that was like, I mean, like, it's the Bardock that just released has like similar ballpark animations as TN, right? Like, these animations are really good. And I just kind of wanted to say, yeah, if you haven't seen these, they're another great example of Dokkan completely wasting great animations on a free-to-play character who is completely useless. I don't want to be a doomer when I say that whatever they do with God, that's such a good animation. Whatever they do with this character is probably not going to make him good. Maybe he'll be runnable, but he probably won't be good, which sucks, but it is what it is. Like I said, I don't want to doom and gloom before his details are even out, but it just brings to mind like, wow, I wish they didn't waste these animations on free-to-play units, man. Look at him, he's so sick. Oh man. So what does this character even have? I think he's just a damage character is the issue. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to be that guy, but this character, they would need to either completely rework him or he'd need to hit for a 100 million attack stat. Is that too crazy to say? Is it too crazy to say that he would actually need to like be like Tao? Like, I think so, because he's just damage. So we'll see, but as of right now, I expect these animations to continue to just be locked behind this wall of content. So like I said, if you're thinking like, oh shit, I can't wait to use TN, don't get too excited, right? Don't get too excited. The next thing we'll briefly just talk about really quickly is, again, this is coming up. This should be interesting. We really don't have any news on what this even is. They've been keeping this pretty close to their chest, so that's pretty cool. I'm not going to belabor this point. We already made a video about it. Anyway, let's talk about Tao for a second, because he is coming with an interesting, I don't know, an interesting swath of characters he could be bringing to the fight. As we get closer and closer, we're starting to see people lean towards this or that, and I'm being convinced more and more myself. So Saiyan Saga has become the topic lately, and one reason is because obviously Yamcha's available to EZA. Yamcha's a character with pretty great animations as well. Super solid TWR the day he released. A kit. So Yamcha's another character who he could be fine. His issue is he's fucking dodge or die, and I don't know if they'd want to change that about him. We're probably not getting another fight that's particularly interesting to take our non-stacking dodge characters into until at least the global download celebration, which they're certainly working very hard on, of course. That said, one thing that Yamcha has over, like, I don't know, Ginyu, is just being on a team with Goku. You know, he's an Earthbred Fighters character, right? So, hey, that's pretty great. He's much more likely to be very strong on setups that have characters like, you know, Vegito on them, right? Rather than characters like Ginyu who require you bring other losers to the party. So that's one thing. Secondarily, and I hate to be this guy, but I kind of want this more than I want anything else. LR Raditz or LR Nappa or LR Saiyan Saga Vegeta have become quite the interesting meme, because TR Raditz is waiting for an EZA. And Raditz is another character who basically only does damage. There's nothing to him otherwise. He greatly raises an attack and defense, but does not stack. They could, of course, change this, but do understand that whenever they decide to EZA this character, they might just make him a fucking loser again, which would both be disappointing but also very funny. Shout out to Doya fans, including myself. But yeah, it leads us to like, what could we get in place of that? I mean, there are no like big time Nappas outside of the Nappa and Vegeta, obviously, who we got an EZA for. Sadly, this character kind of just, I mean, came out in the year of, you know, I guess like, yeah, this technically came out in a year that like really did, and that's not even right? That's not JP's. When did he come out for JP? Yeah, 2023. Came out in a year that was not great for villains. Not great for anyone, really, but villains especially were absolute dog shit during the 2023 year. And so he kind of just came and went, and Vegeta was fine, and Nappa had a dodge turn, and it was fine, but never really got to do anything. Definitely didn't get to see much of this guy. He's basically just world tournament fodder at this point. So a card that could be redone. Nappa himself, regardless of anything that could be said here, if PyCon is worthy of an LR, then, you know, Team 4-star fan rejoice, because Nappa is actually worthy of an LR if PyCon is. I don't think you could argue that. PyCon arguably didn't do that much more than Nappa. If you were to really zoom out, Nappa is a major villain, surprisingly. You know, he kills and beats the shit out of like 3 people in total. And then obviously Krillin and Gohan survive the skirmish before he's killed by Vegeta. But yeah, so I hate to be this guy, but if you're like, Nappa, how could Nappa get one? But like, you're okay with PyCon? I mean, be for real. PyCon literally gets his bar off by being a movie's character. You know what I mean? Like, be for real. Anyone else here I could see be like an LR, sneak LR? It wouldn't be from Saiyan Saga, it'd be from missions. I don't know. Saiyan Saga is actually looking like a really real possibility. Obviously, people are saying TN. TN is fine. Yeah, I don't know. I think the biggest downside to this celebration was just pulling the trigger too early on Ginyu. Ginyu feels like a really wasted easy A if they're not going to add a Ginyu character, because he cannot do it alone. He can't do it alone. His teammates are fine, but they make the team wonky. There's no longer 2 Ginyus on rotation, so it makes them floating around wonky. He's not stacking fast enough. Yeah, I don't know. We'll definitely have to wait and see. If they wanted to bank bust, I'm just gonna go back to this point, which is that Wrath Broly is a character that certainly could come out right now as an LR. Has ton of animations. They could redo them later if they wanted to, but for now, if they wanted to get some of y'all summoning, I know you'd be summoning. I might be summoning. If it was Wrath Broly, I might be summoning, man. I love Broly. I love Z Broly. I love Super Broly. I don't really give a shit which one it is. I know people get really like mad when it comes to like one Broly or the other. It doesn't fucking matter at all. So, you know, whatever. But yeah, I mean, that's our week in Dokkan. Get ready for another like snoozer, because we are in the no hype vortex, dude. This is this might be one of the single worst runs in Dokkan history. Let's just think about that for a second. Dokkan's Golden Week was not great. No content. Basically, it was just a characters celebration, which is fine. But then 2 of the 3 characters were bad or just okay. Just fine. Easy A's were all over the place. Some of them okay, most of them not useful. And then to go into like a low hype celebration where Tao is like weirdly one of the best characters all year, which is really funny to think about, but also is not a character people want to summon for. Like, if Tao had more teams, if Tao led an unstoppable team of just like, I would have pulled for this character. He's pretty good, you know. But it's a Kid Goku thing. Like, you could pull for Kid Goku, but it doesn't really matter that you do, right? Like, it's your account will be fine without him. Especially as we come up on the global download celebration. So yeah, we'll see. It has been a doozy of a down period for Dokkan, but I've been playing the Theory Restart. I don't know if anyone else has. Great game. Really reminds me that Dokkan could do so much more with PvE if they wanted to. Considering that game is a PvP game, man, that game is already dog walking Dokkan and Legends as far as PvE goes. If anyone ever tells you that Dokkan can't do anything more with their PvE, or Legends can't change their PvE, just show them how much money Dragon Ball makes, specifically how much Dokkan makes for Bandai and all these fucking companies, and put them in their place, because it is insane. But yeah, I guess I'll be going back to that. Like, if you like the video, subscribe to the club. We all gonna make it, and peace.